It's Madden NFL 22 on EA Sports, and we've got the latest chapter of a historic rivalry. It's the Packers and the Bears, and it comes your way next.
They say summer is the time to live in Chicago. Well, that's extended into autumn as we are ready to roll under blue skies at Soldier Field. This was the scene a moment ago as the Bears emerged from their tunnel. Ready for football are they, and ready for football are we as the Bears get set to match up with Aaron Rodgers and the Green Bay Packers. Alongside my partner Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And CD, you look at the Packers in this matchup. Their offense is a unit that's not afraid to take chances out there, but not always for the better. What do you see them trying to do here?
I think they'll continue to take those chances, Brandon, but to me, they have to do it in a measured way. And what I mean by that, they can't just come into a game and throw caution to the wind and just say we're going to run a bunch of gadget plays, a lot of reverses, end arounds, all of those things. They've got to identify the spots where they want those plays to pay off, which means you have to set them up, and then when they present themselves, take full advantage.
It's a rivalry that dates back to 1921. The Packers and Bears are underway from Chicago. And no run back on the opening kickoff. It'll come out to the 25. Now we get a look at Aaron Rodgers as he gets set to lead this Green Bay Packer offense. Rodgers now in his 17th season in the league, and of course, coming off the MVP trophy.
I think Aaron Rodgers is one of the poster boys for persistence and belief in self, because coming out of high school, he had 0 scholarship offers in the D1 level, went to a junior college, went to Cal, and just blew up there. And then, of course, there's a first-round draft pick, but a lot lower than what he expected in the first round, and then had to sit behind Brett Favre for a few years in Green Bay before getting his shot. Now he's probably one of the better quarterbacks that we've seen come down the pipe.
They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line. Here's Rodgers. They're going for Lazard, but this is intercepted. Picked up by Jalen Johnson. And running with power here. And it's a tremendous return as they finally get him at about the 10-yard line. The Bears offense ready to go to work here for the first time, leading them out the 11th overall pick of the 2021 draft. Justin Fields out of Ohio State.
And just a few years after the Bears made a big move at quarterback, taking Mitchell Trubisky, they did it again this year, moving from number 20 to number 11 in the draft to select Justin Fields out of Ohio State. This offense was just 26 in total yardage last year, so they needed some production. Justin Fields, 63 touchdown passes his last 2 years at Ohio State. They're expecting him to be their guy for the future.
No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down.
Now, that's a mountain of a man that just made that stop, isn't it? But he's more than that. This guy's nimble and quick. More than a space eater, he just made a great play there.
So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. Now Montgomery running right. And he'll get about 4 there as he takes it from the 10 down to the 6.
When you find that kind of yardage, you couldn't be more confident as a ball carrier. And guess what? You're going to go back and tell your offensive coordinator, I'd like to keep carrying it, thank you.
They haven't made much of this great starting field position they had. Here's 3rd and 6. To throw is Fields. And it's caught. Touchdown, Bears. Justin Fields hooking up with Allen Robinson for the touchdown there. And the Bears have taken the early lead. Walking into the stadium, we saw a ton of people donning the jerseys of this rookie quarterback, so you know they love that opening drive, and he throws a touchdown pass.
He gave a little bit of confirmation about what they had hoped, right? Because they thought they had a quarterback. They're thinking they have a quarterback. You do this, they believe they've got a quarterback. Look up, elbowing each other up in the stands. That's our guy.
Santos with the extra point, and that makes the score 7-0. The drive there only spanning 3 plays, and the end result is a Bears touchdown. Now after the touchdown, here's Santos to kick this one away. He'll going to sit on this one, and it'll come out to the 25. Aaron Rodgers, he's getting ready to go again here on offense. And he'll look to rebound from the early interception that led to 6 points the other way.
And when he threw the interception and he had to come to the sideline, I guarantee his first thought wasn't about the interception itself, but what could result. And I know he was thinking to himself, come on, defense, bail me out. Well, they weren't able to in this situation. Now he's got to go out and atone for it himself, but he can't force things.
Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete. An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Rodgers with a give. It's Aaron Jones. And from the 25, they work this to the 29, a gain of 4.
Well, if you're a football guy, that's a pretty run because everyone is in sync right there. Obviously, the guy carrying the ball, but how about the people up front? Leverage, athleticism, they created some nice space for him.
The Bears bring out an extra defender in the secondary now for 3rd down. Now Rodgers. And he'll let this go deep for Lazard. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete.
Every offense tells you they want to come out and start fast. That's not unusual at all. But this group, they've yet to get much rolling through their first 2 drives. It looks like they're going to have to give up the football again after this one.
On 4th down, on is Corey Bojorquez to punt. Back deep, Damiere Byrd. Fielded just inside the 30. They call that a punt of 38 yards officially, and the Bears take over. The Bears offense heading out now, Charles, and you know, for weeks we've heard Bears fans and pundits alike calling for Justin Fields to be the starter. Well, with Andy Dalton now with a knee injury, Fields got the Week 3 start. Sometimes you got to be careful what you wish for, and you certainly can't pin it all on Justin Fields, but it was not the first NFL start that he had envisioned.
So you called me a pundit? Am I a pundit now? Because you're exactly right. I was one of them. I thought he should have started from game 1. But you nailed it. A rough debut, to say the least. 6 of 20, 68 yards through the air. But he was sacked 9 times for a loss of 67 yards. That means it's 1 net yard passing for the game. And, of course, they couldn't run the ball well at all either. Only 47 total yards on offense for the day compared to Cleveland's 418. They're hoping they can get back to 500 this week against the Lions, and then a really tough stretch. At Las Vegas, home to Green Bay, at Tampa, home to San Francisco. Whatever problems they're having on offense, they better figure them out in a hurry. That outside handoff to the left, that play has to warm the heart of an offensive line coach because they controlled the left side where they were supposed to, but they didn't allow anything to leak from the backside on the right side of the offensive line either. Well played.
Yeah, and it created a big run. So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30. Fields. He's going to air one out. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect. Darnell Mooney, the target there. And that'll bring up 2nd down.
Looks like they went for the combo plate there. A nice ample gain on the ground on the previous play. Going for the big shot on that one unsuccessfully.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 as they line up 2nd and 10. A shotgun snap, Fields. He's going to let this go. Back of the end zone. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long way out there, but it'll be 3rd down.
There is something to a game plan with trying to keep a defense honest. With a guy with that type of speed, you do so. Send him deep. Try and throw some air under it and hope you connect downfield. On that play, they were unsuccessful.
Throwing on 3rd down, Fields. He lets this one fly toward the back of the end zone. And unable to connect. Incomplete. I'll give them credit. They took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down. Green Bay up to the task there in coverage and forcing a 4th down. Santos' kick is up and through, and the lead moves to 10-zip. So a nice kick there as they are able to add on to their lead.
And that's exactly what you're looking to do. Maneuver yourself into range. That way, if your drive stalls out, you're able to get something out of it. And they do so right there.
After the made field goal, Santos back out there to kick it away. Hill is going to take it out of the end zone. And the decision to come out of the end zone is going to cost him 5 yards as he's taken down right at the 20. Packers head back out 2-1 now on the year. They pulled one out week 3 in Santa Clara. What a game. 30-28. They take down the previously unbeaten 49ers. Came down to the very end. Everyone talking about Aaron Rodgers with that 37-second drive that he had. A couple of clutch connections with Devontae Adams, and then it was Mason Crosby, good from 51 on the final play of the game. So, Charles, whatever was wrong with the Pack week 1 against the Saints, that looks to be ancient history now.
So does that mean that Aaron Rodgers just came up with a new slogan we're not aware of? Because you remember a few years ago it was RELAX, and the Packers took off from there and did just fine. I'm not quite sure what he was saying with this one other than I think I'm afforded one bad game along the way, guys, and he hasn't had one since. He had a big-time game in this one. And look, he did it with a third-string left tackle who did a very nice job in trying to keep people in front of him and keeping people off of him. They played really well on the road against a team that's given them fits in the past.
Now, week 4, they host a Pittsburgh team that's been hard to figure out. Pittsburgh, who beat Buffalo week 1, but they've lost 2 since. Now a third down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete.
This offense has definitely been slow getting out of the gate. It's almost like they missed their wake-up call for this one. No points on their first 2 possessions, and now it's looking like none on this one either.
On now is the Packers punter as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. It's a 40-yard punt, but they lose yardage on the return. And out will come the offense as they take over. The Chicago offense set to get started. They're looking sharp, out early to a 10-zip lead and looking for more as they've got it 1st and 10. On play action, Fields. That's complete to Robinson. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2. Only needing 2 yards on 2nd down.
Come on out here. Come get some. Come get some. Come out here. Come get some. He don't want it.
Out of the gun, Fields. Nowhere for Fields to turn, and down he goes. They could not contain Kenny Clark as he gets home for the sack.
And this is what you've got to do against a quarterback like him. You've got to keep him in the pocket and not let him get to the perimeter, because once he gets outside, that's where he can really hurt you.
So now following the sack, Fields and the Bears looking at 3rd down and long. Here's Fields. And this is taken in by Darnell Mooney. And he'll be taken down as that will take us to the end of the first quarter of play. 10-0 the score after 1 on EA Sports. Back in Chicago, ready for the second quarter. It's the Bears in possession as they've got it with a 1st and 10. Handoff comes to Montgomery, and he'll lose yardage here. Back at the 41. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
This defense has really flown around in the first half. They've gotten to the ball carrier before they can really get started. Offense got to come up with something else in order to try and get this running game going.
Second and 12.
Watch the screen. Watch the screen.
A play fake, now Fields to throw. Now he'll escape to his right. He's got a man, complete. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. Now they face a 2nd and long following the holding penalty. Here's Fields. He finds Robinson. They'll come up now on a 2nd and long after the hold. From the gun, here's Fields. That's complete to Mooney. Without the previous penalty, that would have been a 1st down. Instead, it's just a gain of 10.
Never make the mistake that the slot receivers, especially the little guys like we're watching here, are just quicker than fast. A lot of them combine quickness and speed, and they catch a lot of footballs, as we just saw there.
The Bears on 3rd down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. This will be 3rd and a mile. Back to throw, Fields. Open man is Kmet, the tight end. They get only 4 that time as that leads us to a 4th down.
That pattern and scheme was well defensed on 3rd down. He tried to just sprint from one side of the field to the other, and they got it to him quickly. But no chance at yards after the catch there, and they stop him short.
So on 4th down, on is the punter, Pat O'Donnell, to kick it away. We'll call it a 42-yard punt, 3 on the return. And it'll be Packer football here, 1st down and 10. Now Aaron Rodgers and the offense heading back onto the field. He's got to dig deep here, doesn't he? Team's losing. He's not playing well either.
And they always tell you, don't press. You'll make things a little bit worse. But in this particular situation, you try and heighten your play a little bit. So far, he's thrown 1 interception. He wants to balance that off with at least 1 touchdown pass in order to get his team back moving forward.
And that one drops down, incomplete. Good coverage there. Forced the ball free, and it's second down. So, Charles, we are 3 weeks now into the regular season, and we're left with 5 unbeaten teams. Raiders and Broncos in the AFC, over in the NFC, Panthers, Cards, and Rams, all at 3-0. Maybe not the 5 that we would have predicted when the season started, but of that group, who stands out to you?
Well, I'm going to say absolutely all of them. All right, sounds like I'm sitting on the fence, but I'm going to tell you why. Because quarterbacking, always what you're looking at when a team gets off to a hot start, and quarterbacking's been a key for every one of those teams. But I think there's been an addition to each and every one of them. With the Raiders, it's been Derek Carr playing at a high level, but how about how their defense is played? The Broncos, Teddy Bridgewater solidified that position. Their defense has been a constant as well. Von Miller back in his form. When you look at the Panthers, Sam Darnold, again, defense. But remember, they drafted for that 2 years ago when every draft pick was a defensive player. The Cardinals, oh yeah, Kyler Murray's coming into his own. How about the addition of Rondale Moore, the rookie receiver? And for the Rams, yeah, it's not just Matthew Stafford, but Aaron Donald and the rest of that defense really coming to play.
On now is the Packers punter, as he's on here to punt it away. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. That'll be a 44-yard boot, just a yard on the return as he's covered up quickly. And now Chicago getting ready to go as they take the field. They've got the lead. Last time had to punt it, though. What's the key to this drive?
I think it's leverage. The
leverage.
Big guys up front. You know the motivational speech on the sideline is, guys, give us an opportunity. Protect the passer, create space for our runners, and let's go ahead and get these guys. Low man wins. Let's go do it on this drive.
We'll watch that leverage on this drive. A short gain of just over 2 yards as the first half clock dips inside of 3 minutes. 3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. Running left, Montgomery. A first down and then some for Montgomery. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. That burst good for 20 and a first down. One thing that's great about watching him run, Charles, he doesn't hesitate. He got to the left side of his O-line and just went.
So there's 2 ways to look at that. One, just absolutely unconcerned, just takes off and goes. But more the latter, I think, which is he has absolute confidence in the guys in front of him, the guys doing the blocking for him. He just takes it and goes with abandon.
First down, here's the run with Montgomery. And they regroup defensively after the broken tackle, getting to him just beyond the 45. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9. We've hit the 2-minute mark of the first half. 10-0, our score. We remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll pay a visit to Jonathan Coachman. He's in Orlando, and he'll have our EA Sports halftime report. Now left side on the swing pass. And this one's going to go the wrong way. Losing yardage back at the 42. He lost 4 there, and it's 3rd down.
Oh, we're always talking about the athleticism we see from these guys on the field. How about the intelligence as well? He recognized that there was a screen pass on that one, broke off his pass rush, and got back to tackle the running back. That's great scouting and great reaction.
And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game. Now Fields. And that is incomplete.
Well, they came up with points in their first 2 possessions, but it looks like they'll come up empty here on their 3rd drive. The defense finally starting to get locked into them a little bit. Might have to go a little bit deeper into their playbook on their next possession.
Here's Pat O'Donnell now as he's on to punt for Chicago. Fair catch called for and made at the 16 or maybe the 17-yard line. They'll score that a 36-yard punt. Number 12 back out there. Aaron and his Packer teammates set to begin their drive. He has not had the game that he envisioned. His team has not had the game that they've envisioned here. So how do they turn this around now?
Well, right now what he's looking forward to doing is finding a way to get the added weight on his back. Is it like that monkey that Steve Young was talking about? Remember that in the Super Bowl?
Oh, the 95 Super Bowl.
Right, when they beat the Chargers, and, you know, he had
Yep.
that weight of expectations and past greats on his back. In this case, it's just bad play. Can he shake it off and then be able to play loose and free and help his team out?
Let's see if he can do just that. The clock rolls as the Packers look to hurry things up. The Packers going to use one of their timeouts, as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. Here's 2nd and a yard. To throw is Rodgers. That'll be complete to Allen Lazard. And he gets this up just shy of the 30 to the 29 before he's out of bounds. Rodgers teaming up with Lazard there for a Packer first down. From the gun, it's Rodgers. Open man left side, it's the tight end Tunyon. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. 25 yards there on the catch and run.
Pass, catch, first down for Tunyon. Undrafted at Indiana State, but he really came on in 2020. 52 catches, and even more importantly, 11 touchdowns.
A 1st and 10 here, and you know, if they could just get 3 out of this, something about whittling it to a one-score game at half that might provide a psychological boost. And Rodgers is going to go down. He's sacked. Now the Packers going to go ahead and use the 2nd of their timeouts, as the clock will stop with 45 seconds to go in the first half. Now then, after the sack, it'll be interesting to see what they have planned for 2nd and 23. Another try after the first down sack. Rodgers, he gets this to Davante Adams. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle's made here at the Bears 36. That one goes for 24 yards.
And another nice catch there for a first down by Davante Adams. That's something we're quite familiar with. Last year, the NFL leader in touchdown catches with 18, tied for 2nd in receptions, 5th in receiving yards. Add it all up, arguably the top receiver in the NFL.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Now a play fake. Rodgers. That'll be incomplete with 9 seconds now showing on the clock.
They've given up a few first downs on this drive, but getting the incompletion there, that should give them something to build on and maybe turn the tide.
Let's go, let's go, let's go, let's go.
They'll try again from the 36 on 2nd and 10. On the delay, Jones. And he'll be a little shy of the 25 here at the 26-yard line. Now whistles and a timeout with 3 seconds left in the first half. And Crosby puts it through, and that will do it for this first half. So we come upon halftime here at Soldier Field with the Bears out in front. As we'll send you down to Orlando, and we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. We saw a strong first half from our quarterback. First up, though, a look at the next-gen stats for the Packers in that first half. And they did not do much at all in terms of throwing the football in those first two quarters. That's going to need to improve if they want to erase this deficit. Meanwhile, for the Bears, they too have found passing lanes to be hard to come by so far. As you see by the numbers, they'll need to figure that out in the second half.
Okay, Coach, appreciate it. A one-touchdown game here as we get set to resume play in the second half. Set to resume. Here we go with the second half. The Bears holding the lead and ready to receive the kick. This taken in at the goal line. And his guys will get the football right at the 20-yard line.
Oh, heck yeah.
The Bears offense set to go to begin the third quarter. They couldn't ask for much more to this point in the second half. A gorgeous day, one-score game. 1st and 10 here. Third quarter starting with a run from Montgomery. And he's going to lose yardage here. Back to his own 18. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
Well, we saw a lot of negative plays that resulted in plenty of lost yardage in the first half, and that trend is continuing here.
First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12. Now it's Fields. That is caught. It's Williams. And he finally is out of bounds, but he's down inside the 20-yard line. And I think that's a pretty good illustration of why they try to get the football into his hands out of the backfield. That was something else.
And we talk so much from a defensive perspective about scheming and finding ways to take away the run. That means the offense has to devise different ways to get the ball in the hands of their guy out of the backfield. Find open space, let him run, and big things can happen, and they did right there.
A real field flipper there as all of a sudden they've got a first down in the red zone. They're going to try the jet sweep. Robinson with it. And a nice move will yield nothing as he's stopped behind the line. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
As a wideout, when you take that handoff and you're coming around the edge, you're expecting to see nothing but empty space in front of you. But if not...
Well, things can go south in a hurry, and that's exactly what we saw on that play with a loss. Man, I just love being in this stadium. So much history, tradition, so many great teams and games, and we're seeing a pretty good one right now, hotly contested in the third quarter. And they'll get him down right around the 16. After getting stuffed on first down, not much better there. 2-yard gain.
Ladies and gentlemen, that is a force of nature at the defensive tackle position. Yes, he's as big as they come, but still plenty agile. He's able to make a nice play there to swallow up the ball carrier.
Fields now to throw. And this is going to be incomplete. Green Bay up to the task there in coverage and forcing a 4th down.
They went with the dime look that time on defense, just flooded the field with defensive backs, blanketed everyone, took away all the passing angles, thus the incompletion.
And Santos able to put this one up and through. It's good. And they will stretch their lead to 10 now at 13-3. So put another 3 on the board. All things considered, a good opening drive to begin the third quarter.
And as a defense, the way that this game is going, you're excited to see those points go on the board. Gives them a little bit of leeway to play with when they're out on the field, but they're real excited to see their offense score. Now they get to go out there and do their part.
After the made field goal, Santos back out there to kick it away. And Hill will opt for the touchback.
Let's go!
So here are the Packers now. They get set for their first possession of half number 2. And their deficit a little wider now than it was at halftime following the field goal a moment ago.
But the goal is still the same because you know they want to come out, establish a rhythm in the second half, and get going. Make no mistake about it, though. Kicking field goals, not in their game plan. They need to get the ball in the end zone.
They'll start the drive with a carry by Jones. And a penalty flag down as he gets only about a yard. And let's listen in on the call. Inside 4 minutes to go, third quarter. So that one will be accepted. After the penalty, it's Jones. And he'll lose yardage here, back to the 15. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down. You know, despite the scoreline, I think they've got to like where they are here. They're on the road and just one big play away from getting right back in this game.
I'm going to follow right along with you because the spot they're in now is a credit to their defense. They've kept them in it by making the plays that they've made, and that just means you're one big score away from being right back there.
Now the question is, can this offense step up and make that play? Because that's been an issue for them in this game. Here's a throw out wide, complete to his running back right side. And he's brought down, but not before a really nice stiff arm to create a little space. It'll be a pickup of 8 on the screen, and it sets up a third down.
Caught that look from you there, partner. I think we're on the same page on that one. Just his first catch. I think we both thought he'd be a little more active in the passing game. Let's see if that's the start of them trying to get the ball to him a little bit more here in the second half.
Throwing is Rodgers on third down. And that is incomplete.
And we're into the second half now, and this is an offense that continues to struggle to sustain a drive.
Looks like they're just totally out of sync, whether they're running the ball, passing the ball like we saw there. I don't know. The rhythm seems off. On now is the Packers punter, as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. And a fair catch taken back near about the 35, 36-yard line. 37 yards on the punt with no return. Here's the Chicago offense coming back out onto the field. And they split the uprights last time for 3. They've got the lead. They're not going to play this conservative. They're not hoping for another field goal. They're hoping for a touchdown.
I'm with you on that one. I like where your head is. I like the way you're thinking because you're exactly right. Trying to sit on a lead and play that way, that doesn't work too well for most teams. Run your offense. Run what you do best. Exactly. Put it all the way down and try to increase your lead in a big way. And the best way to do it, touchdowns. It's almost not fair when you talk about Allen Robinson to talk about how dependable he is, but that's a great word for him. Last year, first time he's gone over 100 receptions in his career, and he makes a nice catch there for a first down.
On first down, it's Montgomery. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
No doubt about it. A really nice job there by the defense, not allowing him to get to the perimeter. But that means your defensive ends, your outside linebackers, the guys that you pay big money to sack the quarterback, they also have to have interest in the running game as well. And they did a nice job there of holding the point of attack and not giving ground.
On 2nd and 9, Fields. And he finds his target. It's Marquise Goodwin. And he works it past the 30, almost to the 25. That's the first catch of the game for Goodwin. It's a first down.
And now we get into the psychology of the whole thing because a lot of teams with a 2-score lead in the third quarter, they almost become defensive with their offense, just playing not to lose. I think with this team, you got to figure at this point, this is a great spot for them to go into attack mode, really try and put the hammer down and finish this one off.
They'll run on first down. Montgomery. Tackle made by Devondre Campbell.
Well, at the end of all that hitting and hollering, it was a 4-yard run, so the offense is going to go back to huddle and feel pretty good about themselves. Defensively, you have to feel okay because you didn't let it turn into a bigger run, but the goal, shut it down for 2 yards or less. That's when you start to feel good about yourselves.
From the 22, Fields. And he's going to go down. Back at the 27-yard line, he's sacked. Kenny Clark, the defensive tackle, getting in there for a loss of 5.
It seemed like he kept going through those progressions, and I thought he might dump that underneath, but he couldn't get rid of the football in time.
And I have to wonder if he was thinking while he was back there, I wish there were a lot less progressions on this play, just someone that I can dump the ball to and get it out of my hands.
So now following the sack, Fields and the Bears looking at 3rd down and long. From the gun on 3rd down, Fields.
And that one incomplete. They tried to sneak in a deep ball with the clock running down, but to no avail as time will expire on this 3rd quarter of play. We have played 3 quarters. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Santos' kick is up and through, and the lead stretches 16-3 now.
So that maybe not a knockout blow, but I suppose certainly every little bit helps when you're trying to salt one away in the 4th.
Well, the possibility of being beaten by 2 late touchdowns or at least sent to overtime does exist, but time, definitely a big factor at this stage of the game, is in their favor.
After the made field goal, Santos back out there to kick it away. The return man is Hill. And a nice job there on special teams to limit him to inside the 15 as he's dropped at the 14. The Green Bay offense now about ready to take possession here. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
Now a nice play defensively on first down as this is knocked away and incomplete.
Quarterbacks work all the time on manipulating a defense with their eyes and their head movement. In this case, he just stared the receiver down. That allowed for excellent coverage, able to knock that one away.
To throw on 2nd and 10. Rodgers.
And he'll look for Adams again, and this time he's got him.
9 yards, not quite enough, and they'll be left now with 3rd and 1.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route, and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and give the quarterback a really nice target.
Got his man complete over the middle. It's Cobb.
And he is going to have a Packers first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
It's an 11-yard pickup. Thought they'd run it on 3rd and 1. Not the case.
Good yardage on the completion there, and when they look at the scoreboard, they do understand a field goal is not going to do them any good. My guess, they're going to press the ball downfield as far as possible, try and throw it into the end zone and get a score because they know they've got to get that done and get the ball back as quickly as possible.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Flag comes in. This might be a free play. That's complete to Lazard. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. So offside's the call, and they understandably decline it.
And this is why we're seeing more and more teams hiring that one coach to the staff that's in charge of all these things. This one's minor. It's pretty easy to figure out. But all the game management stuff, trying to help out the head coach in his decision-making process.
Again, they'll throw with Rodgers.
Way to go, guys.
It's a game of matchups, and that's why you take your receivers and move them around a bunch, especially your best guys. And when they work out of the slot, you often hear the coaches talk about how great it is because it gives you a two-way go. You can break out or you can break in. That makes it hard to defend.
Throwing again on second down. Rodgers. He'll find Lazard here over the middle. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle's made here at the Bears' 32-yard line. Give him 15 there, and the Packers have a first. Now, correct me if I'm wrong. You're down 2 scores. I don't think you need to rush just yet, but you can't take your time either.
Yeah, even if you don't want to commit to full 2-minute offense, you have to up the tempo, up the urgency. Maybe you're starting to call 2 plays in a huddle each time you snap the ball.
Clock running, under 4 to play now as they come up on 1st and 10. And again, it's Rodgers. That's complete, right side to Lazard. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. Back-to-back receptions for him, and it's another first down.
A first down catch for Allen Lazard, who's turned out to be a personal favorite of quarterback Aaron Rodgers. He's carved out a nice role in this Packers receiver rotation.
Finally, a first red zone opportunity for these guys. They have a 1st and 10 at the 18. To throw, it's Rodgers. And this is intercepted, but they'll say out of bounds. So very close to a turnover there in the end zone. Devontae Adams, the intended receiver. And it's 2nd down. The give is to Jones. And just a couple yards there down to the 17.
This is what happens sometimes when you abandon the running game. It's hard to get back to it because once guys get out of that mentality of firing out and hitting people, hard to get them started again occasionally.
The Packers on 3rd down. Just 1 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 8. Here's Rodgers. And this is going to be incomplete. Another good drive, Charles, but it looks like another that might end in a field goal try.
They've made some nice plays. They've given themselves opportunities, but as you noted, another field goal attempt coming up. And that's not how they want to end drives. They've got to figure out what's the final touch that they need to push it across the goal line.
Yeah, still yet to find the end zone. Now Rodgers, got to have this one. Able to find Lazard. And the Packers are going to have 1st and goal as they try to finish off this drive with 6 points. The time to pull out the stops is now, and they convert there on 4th down. Two minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So it's Packer football here as we welcome you back. They've got it 1st and goal as they look to punch in a late score. Now Rodgers. This one swung out here to Jones. And it's a Packers touchdown.
That's a good shot. That's a
Aaron
good shot.
Jones from 6 yards away. And the Packers have made it a 1-score game again here in the 4th.
I'm not sure win-win is the proper term here, but it certainly felt like it. They got the touchdown they needed, but if I'm on the defensive side of the ball, okay, you got the touchdown, but it sure took you a long time.
Yeah, because offensively there, you're probably hoping for a 1 to 5 play drive. That one ate up a little more time than they were hoping.
You're exactly right, and if you have that 1 to 5 play drive, you actually build up momentum and even more hope. When they had to slog their way downfield, they got the touchdown, but it's almost like,
yeah,
you know,
doesn't feel right.
Exactly.
Important extra point up and through. And now things get a bit more interesting here in this fourth quarter. Now after the touchdown, here's Crosby to kick it away.
Taking it about the 1. And he'll go down as this drive will start at the 25-yard line. Another drive coming up for this Chicago offense. And this game not quite over yet. We'll likely take all 3 timeouts defensively, so they can't just kneel this one out. They're going to have to try to run a few plays.
You're exactly right. They've got to get a first down and make them use up all their timeouts in order to feel like they have this one in hand.
A good game there on first down. That run will get them 7 up to the 32-yard line.
The Packers going to use one of their timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming second down play. They'll keep pounding here with Montgomery. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Now the Packers going to go ahead and use the second of their timeouts. And they'll be disappointed to have to burn one there after giving up the first down. They'll go to Montgomery to try to wind some clock. Now the Packers going to burn their third and final timeout as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming second down play. They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. And he's able to get this one down to the 40-yard line.
The 71 yards on the ground for him now as he's done that on 15 carries. No doubt those are the types of carries they're looking for here, Charles. The lead in the fourth quarter. This is when coaches that have a reliable running game, they breathe a little easier on the sideline.
Yeah, they love the idea that they can take the air out of the football at this point of the game. That means they're really counting on that offensive line, counting on the runners, taking care of the football. Because you're going to tell your quarterback, hey, no time to be a hero. We're not going to throw it here. Just eat up that clock. And if you have the ball, they can't score.
The win for the Bears just around the corner. They go down to a knee. So this one in the win column for the Chicago Bears. And it wasn't really always pretty. They had their bumps and bruises. Really, both sides did. But they did what they needed to do at home to get the win.
Yeah, they really had to grind this one out, didn't they? Because nothing came easy. Every snap was a major league brawl. They had to win at the line of scrimmage, win downfield. They got all those things accomplished. But to win a close one like this, you know, every team wants to be physical. We've heard that a million times, right? But those who are mentally tough, those are the teams that you have to deal with in the playoffs. This was that type of a game.